Hey there folks, Kris Cunningham from Harcourts Cooper & Co with my weekly wrap on all things property here on the beautiful North Shore. With the REINZ stats for October and the new CVs, we've got a lot to get through, so listen close and buckle in. Otherwise, you can go to my website to read my full report at your own pace. Well, the big talk of the week is quite clearly the new CVs. Be careful what you listen to. I've already seen articles with journos stating that as some houses aren't worth as much as their new CVs, it's a clear indicator of the market being down. Now, this is nonsense. Last time the CVs changed in 2014 when the market was skyrocketing, we still had the same thing. Some too high, some too low, and some about right. Remember, the CVs are a rate assessing tool for council, not a valuation. We're currently doing a study of our last 30 sales, taking us back to June, but so far, they're all over the show. And as a quick snapshot of the 5 properties we sold last week, 2 were well below, 2 were miles above, and 1 was about right. So very much like the old CVs, they almost aren't worth the paper that they're written on. And if you want a true estimate of your home's value, give me a call or ring a registered valuer. Now, the REINZ stats for October were released late last week and again contained no surprises, but all in all a very positive month and quarter here on the shore. Volume is still down year on year 20% across the shore, but only 17% across Auckland, which is an improvement on the 31% it was down in September, and clear evidence of the pre and post-election impact on volumes. Median prices held absolutely stable, coming in at $1,067,000 on the shore, which is exactly the same as it was in September. Now, you don't get much more stable than that. Now, this is 7% up year on year, and what is really nice to see here on the shore is that since seeing negative growth in the months April through July this year, the past 3 months have sat 3%, then 5%, and now 7% up year on year. A sign of a rebound? Well, let's not go jumping ahead of ourselves, but all positive stuff, and really nice to see the growth on the shore now trending back upwards again, albeit only just. Across Auckland is a different story, with a median of 840,000 posted in October, which, although ahead month to month and relatively stable over the past 6 months, it's still 3% down year on year. However, it's important to note October 2016 was a record month for Auckland, so it was always going to be hard to top in a stable market like that which we are in. Days on market remained at 37 again in Auckland, but tightened slightly to 35 days on the shore, which again is nice to see. Our days on market has progressively tightened over the past quarter here on the shore, now 7 days ahead of the 42 posted in July, and almost on par with October last year, which sat at 34. Again, some nice positive things to talk about. To the auction desk, and last week Harcourts called 41, selling 20, with a clearance rate of 49%. The other big brand, they called 38, selling just 10 with a rate of 26%, giving us a combined 38% clearance rate for the week. Now, given this is a monthly update, let's take a quick look at the past 4 weeks of auctions. Harcourts has called 150 auctions, selling 70 under the hammer with a clearance rate of 47%. Not bad, given the increase in volume. Now, combined, we pretty much doubled to 301 auctions, but their clearance rate of just 30% drags us down to 38%. Interesting stats to be considering if you're planning on taking your property to auction, right? Now, compared to October, this is a decrease of about 10%, but the big change is the 50% increase in the number of auctions called in total. A big spike in volume, which to be fair was expected, as we've been talking about the rate of new listings on the shore climbing rapidly post the election, and that's the big figure to watch. We now have over 1,880 properties available on the North Shore on realestate.co.nz. We're approaching record numbers for the year. Remember, at the end of September, this figure sat at around 1,360 properties. Now, that's nearly a 40% increase in just 7 weeks, with nearly 300 going live in just the past 3 weeks. Now, this correlates with the increase in the number of auctions being called, and with clearance rates only decreasing slightly, it tells us that along with the increase in stock, we're seeing an increase in buyer demand, which is keeping pressure on prices and providing a continuation of the same market we've had for months, excluding the election effect in September, of course. So, now that we've had a few weeks of data in and post the election result, it has become pretty clear that nothing has really changed at this point, and what we are seeing is more of the same, with an increase in listings and volume being typical of this time of year. We haven't seen any panic selling, but at the same time, any hopes of prices increasing at any significant rate have probably evaporated. The general consensus seems to be that prices will continue to remain firm for the foreseeable future, and in the words of Tony Alexander, in the absence of either a drastic change in net migration flows, a sharp sustained change in interest rates, a radical shift in the relative strengths of the New Zealand and Australian labour markets, or a sudden change in the Reserve Bank rules, nothing truly interesting is likely to happen for some time. On the Coalface, it feels a lot better right now than it has for some time, with many buyers and vendors getting a little more motivated to transact with Christmas fast approaching. Our open homes have been busier. We have strong interest in our current auction campaigns, and we've sold 4 out of the past 4 auctions under the hammer. We sold 5 properties last week, 3 are in negotiations, and we are now doing more off-market deals, which is proving a great way to test the market and sell at a fantastic price without all the fuss. Call me to talk more about this option. But the key to selling in this market can be boiled down to 3 very straightforward yet paramount factors: getting your price right, getting your presentation right, and of course, choosing a great agent. But more on this next week. All in all though, whilst yes, it feels a lot better right now, it's really just more of the same, and it's been like this all year. There are great opportunities for both buyers and sellers, and the balanced market continues. Right, that's it from me. Remember to check out my full update on our fantastic new listings at kriscunningham.co.nz. Otherwise, we look forward to seeing you out and about this weekend. Thank you very much for watching, and go the All Blacks!